What's up, everybody? This is NealReal, and this is the Father You Didn't Have. Wisdom from an elder about relationships and happiness in life. Like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get right into this topic. So what is emotional support and why do we need it? Well, emotional support is basically affirmation, compassion, validation, and empathy. It's there to help us when we get down, and in some cases, we may feel like we're going to lose it. It strengthens us and keeps us strong. So we are interdependent beings. Like I'm going to keep saying this, and we need emotional support. So we need support when we are happy and when we're sad. The emotional support is the process where one human being shows empathy and holds you up or down when you get hit emotionally. So say you lost a loved one or you experienced some trauma, or you feel like you're just going to crumble from something happening to you emotionally. Emotional support holds you up from falling down, metaphorically, at your weakest point, and it helps you to heal faster. So once again, we're interdependent beings, and if one of the links on the chain is broken, it wants to be fixed, and it seeks out support. And if we're empathetic people, we'll see that, hey, one of the links on the chain is broken. We need to repair it. And so that's what emotional support is about. Now, I talk about, I use the word holding you down or, holding you up. So, like I said, you being hit by, let's say you lost a loved one or something, or you falling down, you feel like you can't go any further because you lost this connection, and your friends can come by and hold you up and say, hey, it's going to be all right. We're going to work with you. We're going to be there for you. But sometimes you are extremely angry about something, some injustice or something. And what emotional support does is it validates your experience and helps you it keeps you from flying off the handle and doing something that rash in some cases. So emotional support does a lot for people. But without it, you can lose your own way. You may have been on the path, but something happened, and now you're thinking about going in another direction. You give up your dreams. You feel disconnected because of some type of problem. But when you don't get emotional support, you feel like, man, don't nobody give a damn about me. And you start to feel disconnected. Okay? So a lot of people who don't feel connected is because a lot of times they don't have emotional support. Nobody to talk to in their life. Nobody to encourage them, anything like that. When you don't have emotional support, you feel unheard. You can end up talking to yourself over and over again because you don't have anybody to talk to. So you got this loop thing where you end up walking around talking to yourself all day because you have nobody to talk to. That talk can become negative. So you do a lot of negative self-talk. If you had somebody healthy around you, they could say, hey, don't say that about yourself. That's not true. They can help you to be positive instead of negative. The lack of emotional support can lead to depression and chronic anxiety in some cases, and then suicide. A lot of people don't have emotional support and they end up killing themselves because they don't have that connection with somebody that can help. We all need help. We all need emotional support. Okay? And this is not just for therapists or something like that. Anybody can offer emotional support. Now, this is what emotional support does for us. It heals us quicker from emotional hurt. Okay? Sometimes just being around your own people who understood what happened to you and validating what happened to you and saying, yeah, that happened, that was fucked up, you're going to get past this. I'm not going to tell people how to speak to people in situations like this, but I'm just trying to explain what emotional support is. Emotional support keeps us on our path. We could be about to derail ourselves. Say, you know what? This really hit me hard. I don't feel like doing anything. And they're like, yo, you got this thing that you got to do tomorrow, or just stick with it. You'll be able to make it. Friends can remind us of our passions and our desires and things that we wanted to accomplish. And so emotional support can keep us on track. Emotional support strengthens our bonds. Because somebody has supported us when we were down and where we were up, it keeps us closer to that person because that person is supporting our needs. And so you bring people together when you provide emotional support. Emotional support is not just for when people are down, when you're down. It can help you celebrate. So let's say you won something in life or you met a milestone. when you go out to celebrate with your friends, they're supporting you emotionally. You're happy, and they're supporting you in that emotion. And what that does is you're building gratitude for what happened, the win in your life, and that supports positive affirmation. And so together you're building a memory of a win, of positivity, but it's done through the emotional support. Hopefully, if I'm explaining that right. So it's important to have people in your life that celebrate your wins with you, because that helps you to be a winner in the future. You may be down or something happened to you where you lost something, but you can return to an event when you did win, and you also had support from your friends when you won, and they all celebrated with you. So it's like, even though you had this loss, you can kind of go back to that event when you did win, that experience of celebrating about it, and hold on to that type of energy and go forward in life. Emotional support solves problems. So when you're talking to people, just talking to them about it, somebody who you believe cares about you, and right there you can get the answer. Just because somebody's listening to you and validating you and respecting you. If you don't know the answer and you're asking for the answer, you can get advice and wisdom. It's validation and release of emotional baggage. So sometimes you just need to express how you feel and what's going on. And when you have somebody there that listens and they're giving you that emotional support, you can release that energy, that negative energy out. You don't have to keep regurgitating that or walking in this kind of loop of constantly talking about it and feeling about it. I know that benefits me a lot when I'm able to share something with somebody, because I don't have to keep talking about it now. I can share it one time, somebody listens and understands, and it's like, I'm through. I let go of that. I was able to talk to somebody about it, and I'm finished now. But when you don't have that, you tend to hold on to that. You can speak about it all day, every day. Like I mentioned, one of the other issues that people have when they don't have emotional support, they may constantly talk about something. What happens is, the reason why they keep talking about it to themselves is because they have nobody to talk to. And so it's like speaking to a brick wall. It's just going to go to the brick wall, bounce back to you, and it's just never going anywhere. You can't get rid of it because you don't have anybody to support you. And so you kind of just keep your problem and keep talking about your problem. And that goes into negativity, depression, and then eventually, God forbid, suicide or something like that. So emotional supports, kind of allows you to release your emotional, condition and kind of just express it and get rid of it. So it also helps us solve problems, like I mentioned before. It gives us courage to do something. I remember something happened to me, and a coworker gave me some emotional support. She just saw that was a fucked up thing that happened, and she just gave me a text message like, hey, that was fucked up. And I was like, you damn right it was. And that gave me the courage to rectify the situation with the person that caused the offense. Otherwise, I probably wasn't going to do anything about it. But because I had the emotional support, it gave me courage, you see. And then here's the thing about emotional support. When you get enough of it from parents and from friends, when you don't have those people around, you can rely on support from the past and bring that up in times of need when you don't have anybody. Something happened to you, you can remember something your mother said, or your father said to you, or your friend said to you. And that will keep you going for future situations when you're all by yourself and you got nobody to talk to. Past support from people can really help you go forward when you're by yourself. So that's the power of emotional support. Like I said, when you don't get it, you feel like nobody cares. You feel like you're disconnected. The opposite of emotional support is misunderstanding. When somebody comes to you and they keep saying something, it's just like you don't feel like, or they invalidate you. They claim to be helping you, but they're not supporting you. They're invalidating your experience, saying it didn't happen, or you shouldn't feel that way, or if they don't have any empathy, like they could care less about what happened to you. That's a lack of emotional support. So don't just accept somebody being in your presence and you talking to them about your problems and you walk away feeling worse. That ain't emotional support. And if you had somebody that was like-minded in your life who had empathy, you would feel a sense of calmness, support. healing just from having a conversation with them. No, everybody ain't got to be a therapist or a psychological. They have to go to, they got a PhD in psychology or something like that. They don't have to be that. All they need is empathy, compassion, and validation. And that's all they need. And that will provide emotional support. Now, of course, it's better to learn about things like this so that you can be a better friend to a person when it comes to some emotional support. But just basic empathy, compassion, having that, and that will definitely help a person out in the situation. So that's all I got for you today about emotional support. This is a human need. Okay, people need emotional support. Without it, they could end up killing themselves. A lot of people are depressed because they don't have basic emotional support in their life. All right, and everybody's capable of supporting each other emotionally. Everybody has the same emotions. So how would it feel if you was in that situation? So validate them in that and then hold them up. If they're talking negatively about themselves, reject that negativity. Speak positivity on them. If they've told you a dream that they had and what they wanted to accomplish, hey, stick with that dream. Don't let this deter you from what you want to do and what you're going to do for your life. You see, that's how you provide emotional support. Sometimes it's just listening and holding them and just being there for them. Okay. And this is between, like I said, it ain't just married couples and, men and women and stuff like that. It's your homeboy, it's your homegirl. It's a stranger somewhere that might start talking to you about their life problems. Sometimes just listen. We all need emotional support. We'd be better off if we had it. And unfortunately, though, a lot of us have been told that that's weak to even express that we have a need for this. And so a lot of us don't even talk about it. And then the flip side is when somebody does share something with us, we say all the wrong stuff, that doesn't help that situation. So unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff going on both sides when it comes to this area, but it's a need, and I'm just making everybody aware of it, that this is a need. We have to have emotional support. This is part of being a human. We're going to fall at times. We're going to fly off at the handle. We need somebody to catch us, to help us stay in the right mindset. So that's all I got for today. Thanks for listening to the end. I appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can email me at neal@nealreal.com. You can also go to my website, nealreal.com. I encourage you to check out nealreal.com. That's NealReal.com. Or you can email me at neal@nealreal.com. Have a blessed day.